So One Piece chapter 1061 is out, and what an amazing chapter, and we finally get to know what type of arc we're getting into, and this looks like to be sort of like a Zou 2.0. So if you go back to Zou, it was a short arc, but there was a lot of information that came about with the world building and then the road poneglyphs. That's the first time we learned about it. So I think this is what this Egghead Island arc is going to be about, because if I'm not mistaken, Oda did say in the SPSO interview that when we meet Vegapunk, all the secrets of Delphrus will be revealed, because he's the guy who knows about lineage factor, and then he's the one who actually got, Delphrus into inanimate objects with, Spandam's sword. So clearly Vegapunk knows a lot about Delphrus. It'll be nice to get the origin, what really are Delphrus. So the big thing is, there's like two camps. One camp is like, we all thought Vegapunk was an old guy, but no, he's a woman. But the other camp is like, this isn't Vegapunk. It obviously isn't, because back in Punk Hazard, one of the G5 Marines said that, Vegapunk's an old man. And then in Whole Cake Island, he was also referred to as a he. And then in this chapter, we see the person who introduces themselves as Vegapunk has an 002. So obviously this is a number, or sort of like a machine, like how you give them a number, because we also see that giant robot, it had a number 12 on it, or number 13 if I'm not mistaken, and the shark also had a number on it. And also the shark either has a Delphrut or an artificial Delphrut, because the way it moves, it reminds me of this cartoon like Ziggy and Shark. The way the shark moves is very cartoonish, even though it's metallic. Zoro says it in this chapter, and we also see, it got the nuts and bolts in there. But then the other side of this chapter is Jewelry Bonnie. And now she knows about Kuma. She was there at the reverie. She can give us all of this information that we really want. What happened with Sabo? What happened with Kuma? She says she has business with Vegapunk. We all know it's about Kuma. And the thing about Vegapunk's character, even though at the end of this chapter he says, oh, sorry, did I say I'm going to save y'all? Y'all are pirates, I work for the government, I'm not really saving y'all. I don't really believe that, because from what I can see from the dialogue he had, Vegapunk seems like a very student mindset, always willing to learn, because he was, I'm paraphrasing here, but he was like, the Marines referred to me as the genius, but I'm not really a genius, I'm still learning. He has that sort of mentality, which makes me believe, no, he's not a bad guy. He's probably also not part of the revolutionaries. All he just cares about is knowledge, and that's all he wants. And the reason why he's working for the world government is because they probably pay the highest. He can do his research. The world government will pay him to do whatever he feels like, but he has to do certain things for them, like the Seraphim, like the pacifistas, making Delphrut, artificial Delphrut, creating giant children, all of that stuff. You do that for us, and then you are free to do whatever else you like. And I know I'm all over the place here, but let's go back to the shark, because this chapter is really fully packed. So this could be an artificial Delphrut or a regular Delphrut into this machine. I said that, but it could also be Vegapunk trying to create his own life. So basically, how I think of it is, he knows lineage factor. So maybe he took lineage factor from a shark and put it in a machine. Because in this chapter he says, I can't really get rid of that, primal instinct. I can't really get rid of it. So clearly he's experimenting, trying to make machines, living, autonomous, like have their own will. And that's pretty cool, because One Piece is really big on wills. Like, if Vegapunk knows how to transfer a will onto something inanimate, that's really big, because a Delphrut's one thing, but a person's will, like giving something a will of its own, that's just another crazy idea I just want to put out there. So let's bring it back. Let's go to the beginning of the chapter, calm down a bit. Everything's so exciting. So we see Helmeppo is at a G5 base. He's crying, let's take a Seraphim and go to Blackbeard's territory, Pirate Island. And then we see the other Marine guy, he's like, no, that's just a suicide. And then we also see Tashigi there with the children from Punk Hazard, and we actually get some information on them, that the medicine that Vegapunk gave them is actually working, and they're actually getting smaller. That is actually really nice, because we're getting some closure on that part of the story. And I think another thing to talk about is actually going into this arc, the dynamics. So the crew is split, right? We have Frankie and his crew with Zoro, Robin, Nami, all of them. And then we have the four guys, Jinbei, Chopper, Luffy, and Jewelry Bonnie. And I think that's a really amazing group because you have Jinbei and Jewelry Bonnie, two people who are very intelligent and know how this world works. They know a lot of secrets. Jewelry Bonnie, Akainu went after her after the time skip. We saw that whole thing where Akainu went to go fetch her. Then she was at the reverie. She knows Kuma. She's here for Vegapunk. She knows a lot. Also with Jinbei, he knows a lot. He was with Fisher Tiger. They travel the world. They went to Fisher Tiger went to Marjoa. He saved slaves, so he knows a lot about the world, and he probably passed it down to the Sun Pirates. So Jinbei knows a lot. And then you have Luffy and Chopper, two completely naive people, because Luffy's like, I'm hungry, let's go find a restaurant, and Chopper's like, oh, do you have any money? And then Churipon is like, what is wrong with you? Do you not know what island you're on? There's no restaurant here. This is a world government island. This is the island 500 years in the future where Vegapunk is. That dynamic is going to be really cool because Jewelry Bonnie is going to finally realize, no, Luffy is not this mastermind that the newspapers make him out to be. He's not this big mastermind that calculated, the downfall of Big Mom, and he wasn't the mastermind behind the old Kaido raid. No, he's just an idiot who just goes head first and then just makes the... But anyway, that is my thoughts on this chapter. If you enjoyed it, like. If you didn't, dislike. Comment what you thought about it, and I'll see you all in my next video.